Well, a few weeks ago, we showed you how to make a garden pathway using paving stones. And if you'll remember, it was right at the entrance to our studio gardens, which is a very nice area and a high visibility area. Well, today we're going to show you another walkway, and it goes past another very popular area, our water gardens, which is really one of the focal points. But I think when you start walking on this pathway, it too will catch your attention. And what it is, it looks like a cobblestone pathway, but it's actually made with a kit that's out on the market. It's made out of recycled plastic, and it's about 2 feet by 2 feet square, and it's from the company called Walkmaker. Now, the actual kit is pretty simple, and we're catching Alan here in the middle of things. He's actually the one that's experimenting with this and working out all the kinks for our garden. Alan, how's it going so far? It's really coming together nicely.
It's looking pretty good.
Now tell me about the mix that you're putting in. Is it a particular type of mix?
Yeah, the Quikrete company donated to us all the concrete that we need for this project. And all it is a ready mix concrete in a bag. Any homeowner can buy it.
And what's the ratio that we mix it up?
Well, one bag to a little over a gallon of water I found works better for me. They say to plastic consistency.
Okay, and you're using one bag then for each mold, is that correct?
Yeah, one bag will just a little overdo a mold.
Okay. Now, what do you do then? You're just pouring it in there in the mold, which is set down like this, I guess. Now, the mold is built especially for what purposes?
Well, to be able to follow a shape, you can move it around, you can set it on any surface. It takes very little soil preparation. You can go out and mow the grass real close and just set it right on top.
Now, really, their recommendations, they encourage you to use just one width for a pathway will work. Of course, in our area, we want a little bit wider, so it's spending more time on it. But I've noticed after you're getting it worked in there, you're experimenting with some color variation, it looks like. What are you doing with that?
Well, what we're doing is we found that we can get a darker color by sprinkling it across the top. And you can buy this wherever you buy your Sackcrete, or you can ask them to specially order it for you. We're taking a yellow and a brown and mixing on here and trying to get a sandstone color to mix our rocks around our water garden. And then you just work it into the top, and you can see a little bit of yellow and a little bit of browns as they mix and try to form a sandy color. And you just work it into the top.
Now, at one point you did try to mix it in the actual mix, and that was back in here, and it really didn't come out too well, did it?
Well, it takes so much colorant to mix in with the concrete to color this gray concrete that it is kind of cost prohibitive to try to color it. So we found this way works pretty good to get some good color to it.
Right, and so you've used just a brown by itself back behind here, which is a nice dark color too. So really there's a lot of options in the color too.
Yeah,
now,
there is.
What about the surface? What are you doing now to get various surface?
Well, we've got several different surfaces right here. You can either just take a wooden float that you can make at home or buy and just go across it, and it leaves a grainy finish. Or you can take a metal trowel or a float that you can buy, and metal will put even a finer surface because the sand can't get in the pores of this metal and cause any roughness.
So it's smoother then.
Or you can wait till it dries to a tacky finish and take a wet brush and just brush across the top of it, and it'll leave a little rougher texture. And it all is whatever you desire. We've done most of these with the fine finish and a couple of these with this float finish. And I kind of like the float finish the best.
Probably a little better in safety too on wet surface like that maybe. Now, it leaves the cobblestone appearance with the cracks in between. We've discussed several ways of filling that in. The company even suggests that in some cases you could just allow some of the soil in there, plant some of the grass, maybe some ground covers that are very low growing, which would give a nice characteristic. But what we're going to use is pea gravel. And Alan, what would pea gravel run, something like that? And we're just going to pour that right in between the cracks.
Well, you can just take and dump it across there and take a broom and sweep it in, but it runs about $20 a ton, and you can get it at most any sand and gravel shop in your city. Okay. Or you can ask them to find some for you.
And that gives us a little bit different contrast. I think that's going to look real nice in conjunction with our focal point, the water garden. Now, Alan, with each one of these, you can design the shape, that kind of thing. What are we looking at, though, as far as cost?
Well, what is really nice about this is Once you buy the form, it just costs, a bag fills up one form and it covers 4 square feet. That works out to be about 50 cents a square foot, where if you compare it to the brick pavers that we saw earlier, they run about $2.50 a square foot.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's a nice alternative as far as cost, and again, it looks pretty nice with the rustic appearance too. Well, we're anxious to see how the finished product looks, and it's kind of time consuming, I guess, isn't it?
It takes a little bit of time, but a homeowner can sit down and do 1 form a night, or 2 forms, or 3, and all you have to do is when you get ready to finish is just pick this up. It doesn't even have to really be dry. Just shake the form, and voila.
All right, it looks good. Well, Alan, thanks. We'll check in with you again on the finished product. And we have some more ideas for you over the next few weeks of various other types of walkways, so we hope you'll stick around and keep in touch with us on those too.